Hello everyone, my name is Kiva and I teach people how to achieve the luxe look for less. So we always see these videos, interior design trends I hate, interior design trends that need to die, but what about the interior design trends that don't take all of our money? So in today's video, we're talking about timeless interior design trends so you can craft a beautiful, sophisticated home that will look great for years to come. Before we get into today's video though, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And if you want me to design your home, click the link in the description box for my virtual design sessions. Let's get into today's video. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that today's video will be a little bit controversial. These are things that I've studied on. These are things that I truly believe are timeless. Sure, they become a little bit more popular, a little bit less popular, but you can always have these things and they still work. So listen to this video with that in mind. Something that will never be out of style, in my opinion, is the SubwayTile. So I'm like, oh, I'm clicking away. Oh, this person said that. I don't care what they said. The SubwayTile will always be in. And let me tell you why. Because it has always been in. So look at history. That's the best way to go about this. Did you see it in the 50s? Did you see it in the 60s? Did you see it in the 70s, the 80s? Okay, you know, you could keep going. The answer is yes. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't something cooler that you could do. The chevron, all of that, it looks really good right now, but it's trendy. But in years to come, you're going to be like, oh, I want to rip that out. Oh, this person knows that I fell in love with Studio McGee. Oh, this person knows that I really bought into this trend and I'm embarrassed about it, right? But with the SubwayTile, it is a classic. Now, I think the main thing that really trips people up is the basic white subway tile with white grout versus the basic white subway tile with black grout. Now, the one with black grout, that is trendy. That is not always going to be in style. It's hard to maintain, and it's very like industrial and farmhouse at the same time. It's pretty much just very confusing to me. But the basic white subway tile is great, not only because it has always been in, but it is an easy thing to maintain. You really just wipe it off. There's no grooves in it. There's no textures. It's just ceramic. So you get your rag, you wipe it off, and you are good to go. And that's what matters for a kitchen, because that's where you see a lot of them. In your kitchen backsplash and in your bathroom. They're really easy to clean. And since these places get messy all the time because your dirty body's in there or you're getting grease on the wall, you want something that's actually easy to maintain. Maybe if you have your personal chef or you get your food delivered, it doesn't matter to you, but for us normal folks, it actually does matter quite a lot. The other reason why the SubwayTile, the white SubwayTile, will always be in fashion is because it is cheap. When I first did our kitchen, I said, do I want to spend 10 cents on a tile or do I want to spend $3? And if you thought that I thought about it for more than 2 seconds, you don't understand me at all. It's literally only 10 cents. They kind of go up to maybe 90 cents, but they are really affordable. So it allows anyone to get the utility of a backsplash really affordably. Things that are affordable and also high quality at the same time are never going to go out of style. Also kind of blends in, right? It works with everything. You got black cabinets, the white looks nice. You got green cabinets, the white looks nice. You got rainbow cabinets, the white still looks nice. It's versatile. It always looks good. Sure, you could do something better than it, but it's never a bad choice. And that's why it will always be stylistically relevant. Popular. But let's move on. We're going to talk now about Persian and Oriental rugs. I'm just going to say Oriental rugs so I don't trip up on my words, but I am discussing Persian and Oriental rugs. They just come from different parts of the world, but the styles of these rugs are similar to some degree. Basically, they just have really ornate detailing. They're made of the finest materials and they are imported from abroad, and they're fantastic. So you might be saying, why would I want a Persian or an Oriental rug? It just is going to look like my grandma's house. I hate my grandma's house. Well, first of all, you're rude because your grandma has a phenomenal house. So let's check that attitude at the door. But Persian and Oriental rugs are amazing. First of all, they're never going to go out of style because they have never gone out of style. Again, if something has been around for centuries, it's not going to go out of style. Oriental rugs are a sign of wealth because they are expensive. They're made out of fine materials, the wool and the silk. It's expensive. So it is a way to say, hey, I have some money. Look at me go. So that's why a lot of people have Oriental rugs. The Persian and Oriental rugs also, again, will never go out of style because they do work for every design style. Yes, they work in the traditional, but they also work in the transitional, the contemporary, and the bohemian. So let's give some examples. Let's talk about Studio McGee, very popular. You know who she is, or you know who they are. So Studio McGee, they use faded Oriental rugs in their transitional design. So their design is transitional. It's a combination between the modern and the contemporary modern and the traditional. So they have you know, the rustic features, the features that are a little bit more traditional, but they also have new curves. They have really light colors. They have a little bit of black. It has some edginess to it. So the way to warm it up to make it feel a lot more homey is to add the Oriental rug. It also adds like an age element and therefore a level of sophistication because you have the faded part. It gives the illusion you've had this rug in your family forever. It tells a story. We like things that tell a story, right? That's why vintage design is so in right now. So that's what the Oriental and Persian rugs brings to the story for transitional design. When we talk about contemporary design, I love contemporary design. You know that is my bread and butter, but it's super sterile, right? You feel like you can't sit down, you don't feel at home. It's a place just for looking. Well, you throw a Oriental or Persian rug in there, it warms it right up. You have something nice on your feet. You have again an art feature, but it's on the floor now. You have no idea. I've gone to the rug dealer. They say, do you want an Oriental rug that's like art, or do you just want one that blends in? They actually craft rugs just for this purpose. So in a contemporary home, it adds some warmth. It gets rid of that sterile feeling that is oh so common in the contemporary space, but it still allows you to have those really straight lines, those dark colors, that harshness. And Oriental and Persian rugs are rarely not colorful. They're always very colorful. They're burgundy, they're navy, they're turquoise, they're green. They have really robust colors. So they have a lot of strong color. They're very vibrant, so they're very warm and lively. So in any space that is kind of devoid of liveliness, they add that. And for that reason, it's never going to go out of style. Same thing for bohemian. It adds a ton of color. It just makes it feel like someone lives there and they tell a story, because chances are, unless you're buying like the ones from Rugs USA, these have been throughout your family. They tell a story. They have significance to your family. So they're always going to be around. So a few videos ago, I totally attacked the sleigh bed, and I stand by it. But one bed that I do believe will always be in style is the Canopy bed. So Canopy bed, Kiva, what are you talking about? We're talking about the bed with the 4 posts, and you can have like an actual like drapery canopy above it. You can have it open. You can do whatever you want. It's your world. I just live in it. But it is a canopy bed, so there's a canopy above the bed. So these beds you see in traditional design, transitional design. Again, the theme you should be picking up from this video is that if all of these things work in every single design style, they will always be timeless, because if you change your design style, if the design styles that are popular do change, if something still works in all of those styles, you are good to go. That piece is timeless. So the canopy bed. The canopy bed is timeless because they tend to be really well made. Most canopy beds are actually made of wood, and therefore they are timeless because wood holds up well and it exists from years to come. When I tell you, my wife, she has this bed that she got when she was born. Her parents bought her this bed when she was born. I don't know why they bought this for her when she was born, but they bought her this canopy bed when she was born. And she has had it from when she was born to now. She's 25 years old and it still looks brand new. So they are very, very well made. The other thing about the canopy bed that I think is really appealing to people is that it adds a ton of height. It adds some visual interest to a room. So if you don't know where to find art, you don't know how to hang art, you don't want to pay for art, your bed becomes, again, something that creates the visual interest, so you don't have to have the art if you don't want to. You don't have to go searching, because your bed might have some intricate molding on it. You could put a different colored canopy on it. You can have a long canopy. You can have a short canopy. It's really like a customizable sort of thing, which is very, very exciting. And I think that that's super cool. When you have a canopy bed, the bed really speaks for itself. You can dress it really beautifully with your blankets and your pillows, but it makes such a statement. You don't have to worry about having the ottomans at the end of the bed or making sure you have the beautiful artwork. You are good to go. And I think that that's something that's really important, because a lot of people do lazy design because you're busy doing other things. That is okay. Hear me when I say that. Canopy beds work for every single design style, and you can kind of tweak them based upon what style you want to give. So you could paint it black if you want it to be more contemporary. You can add really ornate long velvet curtains if you want it to be really traditional and regal. It's kind of like a do whatever you want. It's a DIY sort of situation, and we love that. So sconces have become really, really popular recently. Everyone wants a sconce now, but sconces have been in. You see sconces in traditional homes. You see them on either side of the fireplace. You see them in your hallways. Sconces are in because they provide you with much needed light. I don't know about you, but in a lot of these new builds, that's what my house is, there is not ample light. You have a lot of can lights, you have the recessed lighting, but what about light in the hallway? When I turn off the light at the end of the day, I kind of like gotta book it and hope I make it into the room because I can't see anything. The sconce, though, though, more specifically is always going to be popular is because it keeps a lot of table space available to you. And we love space. We are people and we have a lot of things. We love to hold on to stuff, right? So our nightstands, sure, we would like to have them with our nice table lamps and our book and whatever. But at the end of the day, our nightstands become our full desks, right? You got like 10 binders on there, you got a bag of chips, you got 10 water bottles, all of them are full. You've never drank any of them, but you just have to have it just in case. It's just full of stuff, right? And whether or not you want that to actually be your reality, it is. So the Sconce actually gives you all of that table space to have those things. It's okay to have things in your actual room. Real life is not a photograph. Right? We actually use the things that we buy, and that's totally okay. And sconces give you the space to do that while still having the light that you need. So that's why the sconce will always be popular. The next thing that is never going to go out of style is white bedding. Sure, I'm biased because my bed is white, my bedding is white. I love the color white and I also love the color black. But white bedding is always going to be in style because white literally matches everything. Black does not match everything, but white does match everything. If you have a traditional bedroom, so you have the, cherry wooden canopy bed, that white bedding is going to look amazing. If you have the white cloud bed or black cloud bed, any variation of a cloud bed, on a upholstered bed, that white bedding is gonna look amazing. If you're into bohemian design or mid-century modern design, you have a ton of wood tones, you have that orange wood, you have that oak, that white is gonna look amazing. It's gonna look nice and light and airy and fluffy. Light and airy and fluffy is something that happens with all design styles, and we love it for all of them because at the end of the day, we're all just big kids who just like want to feel like we're jumping into a ball pit at the end of the day, but it's actually our bed. And the white fluffy duvets allow us to do that. The next reason that white duvet covers will never go out of style, or just white bedding in general, is that it's really the easiest one to find. You can find white duvet covers and white bedding at like literally every store. Every brand that sells these things has a white. You're not always going to find black, you're not always going to find blue or green or whatever color you want, but you can find white bedding, and then you can just, add the color or add the textures via your throw pillows, your throw blankets. It is something that you can use for any design style and you can customize it a little bit. Okay, I'm like literally making the same point with everything, but that is the point of the video, so bear with me here. So the very next interior design thing, or the trendy interior design item that's never going to go out of style, is the built-in bookcase. So open shelving, having standalone bookcases and shelves has become really popular because we love to style shelves. Home Goods and Target and all those places, they're really targeting us. Target is targeting us. They're targeting us and really trying to get us to style these surfaces, have them freestanding. And I think having the shelves and stuff is great, right? Because if you live in an apartment or you don't have the built-in, you still can achieve that look. And I'm all for the accessibility. But a lot of people might be like, oh, built-ins, they look too traditional, they look too this, they look too that. I actually really think the built-in bookcase is always going to be around because it doesn't always take away from your square footage. So a lot of times when people put in the built-in bookcases, they'll have the built-in bookcase and then they'll decide the size of the room. It's not like with a shelf, it's taking up actual space in your room. It's built into your wall. So the space that you have is the space that you're kind of working with. And when you have shelves or like freestanding shelves, they take a lot of floor space up. So it means that you have to push like everything you're working with back a few feet and back a few feet. So you don't have enough space to actually exist in. Now, I think one of the downsides of the built-in bookshelf is they can look really traditional, or you're like, oh, I don't want all of my things always being exposed. So they can look very traditional, but I think it's all about how you style them. So you can add more contemporary things to your bookcases. I think another problem people have is that with the bookcases, they're very rigid in terms of like shelf height, right? Because they're built in, so you can't adjust them as much. And what I will say to you there is just measure the distance between the shelves and buy decor that works for that sizing. Don't buy decor that's not going to fit. I mean, you should never buy decor that's not going to fit. So just know the measurements, and I think it will guide you better, and then you'll feel more confident about your shelf styling. Built-in bookshelves tend to be in studies or in family rooms. So in the family room, it's normally like built-in bookshelves with like where your TV should go. So it kind of tells you exactly how to lay out your space, and it gives you the storage in the room that you need it in. Same thing goes for a library. You need somewhere to put your books. So it gives you a natural place put your books. It just is something that has a ton of utility. I think that it just gets a bad rep because people struggle to style them because they struggle with scale, but I don't think that that's the bookshelf's fault. I'm telling you, once you know those measurements, every time you buy something, take a tape measure or just look on the bottom of it. It will tell you the measurement and you'll be good to go in terms of styling these built-in bookcases for years to come. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. These were some interior design features, interior design trends that will never go out of style. If you have any of these things in your home is going to be timeless, so you don't have to worry about breaking the bank and buying something new every time someone makes a new video about the latest interior design trend. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And let's chat down in the comments about interior design trends that you think are timeless. I want to talk about it, but until next time, have a beautiful day.